The Columbine school shooting happened in Littleton, Colorado on April 20th, 1999. There were a total of 15 victims. The two boys who had planned to perform the massacre were 18-year-old Eric Harris and 17-year-old Dylan Klebold. The shooting had started at 11:19 a.m. It lasted till 11:35 a.m. In a span of 16 minutes, 13 had lost their lives, 12 students and 1 teacher. Eric and Dylan had both shot themselves in the head in the library at 12:08 p.m. After killing 13 innocent people, they had finished their massacre off with a total of 15 people dying, including them. Eric and Dylan had placed 2 bombs and set to kill over 600 people. But when the bombs failed, they went into the school and started the massacre on their own. The shooting was supposed to be a bombing and not necessarily a shooting. The 1999 Columbine school shooting had a significant impact on school safety procedures but had little impact on gun laws. There had been on average 10 school shootings a year since Columbine. The shooting resulted in the question, what if my child isn't safe at school? This was scary for parents and guardians because their child is the most important thing to them. They leave their child at school for more than 7 hours a day with people they barely know. The day after Columbine, 55% of parents said they were scared for their child's safety at school. In 2018, 57% of teens said that they were scared for their safety and scared that the shootings might happen at their school. There was 12 students and 1 teacher who died. The 1 teacher who had died was Dave Sanders. He had heard gunshots and rushed to warn the students, and he got more than 100 students out of danger. He tried to secure as much of the school as he could, but he ran into the shooters and was shot in the back of the neck and back. He bled to death, but was known as a hero. Rachel Scott was the first victim. She was eating lunch outside with her friend Richard Castalio. She was shot 4 times in the torso and head, and she died. Richard was shot 8 times and left paralyzed. Cassie Barnell was 17 years old. She was a young teen when she started experimenting with drugs and alcohol. Her parents sent her to a church retreat after she had started having suicidal and homicidal thoughts against them. She was studying in the library when the shooting started. She was hiding under the table with another girl when Eric had entered. He slapped the table twice and said, "Peekaboo," bent down and shot her in the head. Isaiah Schulz was 18 when the shooting had happened. Isaiah was African American. Isaiah was hiding under the table with his 2 friends when the shooters had spotted them and came over to their table, and they bent down on either side of the table and started a racist rant against Isaiah. They tried to drag him out from under the table and failed. Harris shot him. Daniel Roherberg was 15. He was heading to a nearby park to eat lunch with his friends with a Dr. Pepper in his hand when the gunman approached him at the school. He was shot in the chest, abdomen, and leg and died on the sidewalk. Kyle Velasquez was 16. He crawled under a table and was killed by shots in the head and back. He had been attending Columbine for 3 months. Stephen Kernow was 14. Stephen planned to become a Navy Top Gun pilot. He was the youngest victim of the shooting. He died after Harris shot him in the neck. Matthew Kecker was 16. Matthew was shot in the chest and died alongside Isaiah in the library. Lauren Townsend died on the library floor after being shot several times in the head, chest, and lower body. Lauren was 18. She was shot more times than any other victim. John Tomlin was 17. Eric shot John without looking, who was under the table, before Klebold went around and shot him point blank in the head. Kelly Fleming was 16. Kelly tried to hide under a table with a group of girls, but due to lack of room, she was partly visible. Eric shot Kelly in the back. Daniel Miser was 15. Daniel hid under a table and pushed a chair in front of him when Harris approached him in an attempt to knock him over. Harris commented, "Nice glasses," before he shot Daniel in the face. And the last victim was Corey D. Porter, who was 17. He died from a gunshot wound in the neck.